Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is the Sun Woman, and to those celebrating Thanksgiving, happy, blessed, and safe Thanksgiving to you all, and happy full moon in Gemini to everyone. So this full moon is taking place on November 25th in the signs of Gemini and Sagittarius, and we all know that during the full moon our emotions are heightened. There is definitely a atmosphere for psychic and intuitive energies being very strong. We know also that during the full moon things can come to light. There can be revelations of information that we were either not expecting or were hoping to uncover. So during this full moon in Gemini, you will find usually that through conversations, through some sort of communication, you may be getting information to help you resolve something that you were hoping to resolve. This could be a long-standing situation, and there is a strong sense of spirituality in this full moon because the opposite sign of Gemini is Sagittarius, and that 9th house and 3rd house connection rules the connection between the higher mind and the logical mind that we use on a daily basis. So the connection between our spiritual nature, our spiritual mind, and the daily perception that we receive, the daily messages that we receive. Now, what I've decided to do this month is continue on with the full moon readings, and I also wanted to address the concept of twin flames because this full moon is in Sagittarius and Gemini, Gemini being the sign of the twins. There's a definite connection between the twin connection, and we'll find that that is, can affect all of us in some way depending on where it falls in our charts. Now, just to address twin flames, we talk about twin flames, soulmates, and if you think about it, we're all on some level looking for that other soul that is going to complete us. Now, what exactly is a twin flame? Well, in the different descriptions that I've read and that I've found interesting, the twin flame is really a different and more profound connection in many ways than even a soulmate. Okay, while we can actually have many soulmates in our lives, which can be platonic or romantic, which can be family connections, friend connections, there is really only one twin flame. And this is because the twin flame is understood as generally a physically embodied soul expression, which is the polar opposite, or the complementary aspect to our own soul. So the other half of our soul. I've heard it explained by those who are way more spiritually advanced than you or I may be, and who have more depth of knowledge on the subject. I've heard them explain that in a sense, when the source of everything, God force or the universe, or however you want to name the force that has created all of us, when that source was dividing itself into infinite expressions of consciousness, okay, infinite souls, for the purpose of experiencing itself and experiencing life and existence on a physical level, each soul coming to experience that connection was split into two parts of a whole. Okay, so therefore the twin flame can really be understood to be the other half of one's own soul. Now, what I've done, I've posted actually on my blog. If you check out Tumblr, which I've started a new blog on Tumblr, which could be just connections to my own channel or interesting articles that I found that I just want to share. And then I'll also be doing some writing and some poetry as well. I will be posting some more articles on twin flames. Now, what I'd like to just go ahead and do in this reading this month is go through each of the signs and see if we concentrate on the connection of twin flame connections. I want to see what the messages are for each of the individual 12 signs as far as whether we are with our twin flame, whether we are waiting to become connected with our twin flame, whether, again, we are seeking that connection, or whether we are questioning whether we have met that person, or whether there are boundaries or limitations to meeting that person. But know that with the twin flame connection, there are some signs. One of the signs is a really intense acceleration of our evolution, meaning that, meeting that person brings about some tremendous change in our life. So there's intense chemistry, and there's a rapid acceleration of our personal development and their personal development. So some major change in our life is brought about by meeting this person. Their energy spurs us on or inspires us to create deep changes and transformations in our life. There's also a sense of knowing when you meet your twin flame. There's a feeling that you have with them that's unlike any other connection that you've had in this life. You'll feel something unspeakable between your heart and that person's heart. There's also either a sense of peace or chaos. So meeting the twin flame, keep in mind, is really not for the faint of soul or for the faint of heart, because we can have an unbelievable expansion in our lives, or there can be a lot of chaos that takes place because of the tremendous change that we are allowing to take place in our lives, okay? And there, in any way, that connection is going to challenge us to our core. And on a sexual level, if this is, that twin flame connection, that romantic twin flame connection, we may experience very powerful sexual connection with that person that may be unlike any we've ever experienced. There may be the feeling of an outer body experience during the sexual connection, and there may be just a feeling of mergence with that twin soul that is very different than anything else you've experienced, and kind of wipes away time, space, and the sense of, being physically embodied in this world. So there are other connections, there are other clues that will connect us to, will give us the sense that we've met our twin soul. Let's just go ahead and go through each of the 12 individual signs and see what the message is this month of November on this full moon in Gemini and Sagittarius, and see what the messages are for finding, keeping, or attracting our twin souls and our twin flame. All right, let's get to the individual readings. Scorpio, so this full moon in Gemini is going to be illuminating your 8th house and your 2nd house. Gemini is ruling your 8th house, and the 8th house is a very powerful house, especially when it comes to deep soul connections, because the 8th house is the house of, which is naturally ruled by Scorpio. So it's the house of sex, of deep spiritual connection. It is the house of what the loved one offers to you, their resources to you. So we'll find that life-changing situations that are going to transform our lives will fall in this 8th house. There's the power for regeneration. There's the power for deep soul connection. There's the power for major transformation in your life. So I feel like this Gemini full moon is going to be illuminating and challenging you as far as how deep you can go with a partner, with a loved one, with a twin flame connection. Now, the challenge is going to be if you have not met someone, or if you're still seeking your twin soul, are you ready to connect that deeply with someone on a spiritual karmic level? If you are already in a relationship and that you feel is a twin soul connection, what is going on with that other person that is going to drastically transform your life? Are you ready again, just like the previous situation? Are you in this partnership ready to go very deeply with this partner and possibly drastically change and transform your life to a new level of sharing? Okay, so the 8th house is what is shared with you from a partner. The 2nd house, which is where Sagittarius is, the opposite sign to Gemini, is what your resources are, what you're giving over to that partner. So let's see what the message is for you in this particular 8th house illumination by this full moon in Gemini. And again, the 8th house is naturally ruled by your sign, by Scorpio. I'm using the Tao Oracle deck, and I like to use this deck because there are some very deep spiritual messages that are given by these oracle. The I Ching is an ancient divination tool, and so I think that it's very effective for looking deeply into spiritual and karmic situations. So this is the reading for Scorpio, to see what the message is for you in your search for your twin flame, or your current connection with your partner in your twin flame connection. Okay, and this is a 4-card reading. Now, what I feel is that in the recent past, there's been a reason for you to detach yourself from either seeking out someone or detach yourself from the partnership that you are currently in. I feel like you've been walking alone in this time, and you're trying to gain increased understanding of yourself, of the partnership. You are trying to gain an overview of where the relationship is going, what your expectations are, what that other person's expectations are of you, and you are integrating all this through reflecting and being in a contemplative state, okay? If you are not in a relationship right now, I feel that, again, that you may have pulled yourself back from actively seeking a partner because you're trying to gain an understanding of who it is that you are looking for and what it is that you have to offer and what it is that you truly want from a partner, okay? So there is contemplation, and very interestingly enough, on this card is a full moon. So I feel like this full moon in Gemini is speaking directly to you for you getting this particular card, Scorpio. Now, what's on you right now is the Peace card. So in doing this contemplation, in pulling back from within yourself or from a partner, I feel like you are gaining a sense of harmony, or you're regaining a sense of harmony and balance. There may have been a restoration of balance in the relationship because of your choice to detach a bit and to try and look at things objectively. And now the conditions are favorable for expansion for you in your own personal journey and also in your journey with a partner, okay? And there should really be a sense of well-being on some level, that you've taken the time to to go into contemplation, to meditate on where you want to go. There may have been self-imposed, it's a self-imposed meditation and detachment, I feel. And as a result, you are ready for expansion. You're ready to move forward to whatever the universe has in store for you in your search for your twin flame or in your current partnership connection. Now, what I feel is going to be coming up is, you have to be careful of making impulsive mistakes, okay? There is still learning to do. There is still patience that needs to be had. I feel like you are still going to be, there is going to be a challenge in holding on to that balance that you have that you've attained, because now you're entering back into this connection or back into your your search for this twin flame partner. So you have to be careful that you don't go back into the same behavior or the same immature thought process. With the 8th house and the 2nd house illuminated for you, it's important that you are giving as much as you are receiving. It's important that there is still a balanced partnership. We don't want one person feeling like they are giving more in the relationship than the other person. So make sure that you are giving of your resources as much as the other person is giving of theirs. And if you are in the position where you are meeting someone and someone is coming into your life, be careful not to be impulsive in your behavior, in your actions. Be careful not to impulsively give of yourself before you have had time to let a situation grow and mature, okay? Be careful of reckless behavior is also the message here. If you are searching and still looking for that partner, be mature in your search. Don't allow yourself to recklessly, impulsively get into a relationship just because you want to be with someone and not give the situation time to mature and yourself time to learn about that partner, okay? Don't go into a situation in ignorance, but keep your mind open. Find out what that partner is willing to give to you and is willing to offer. And it doesn't, necessarily relate to, we're not talking about financial giving, although security and a feeling of security in your life may be something that you are wanting or needing, but we're also talking about resources that are not material, meaning time, meaning devotion, meaning loyalty, okay, meaning thoughtfulness. So the other types of resources, make sure that you are giving your time and energy to someone who is willing to give that back to you. Okay, Scorpio? So the advice card here, however, is be enthusiastic, okay? So, you have learned a lot about yourself. You have been able to take the time to contemplate and to meditate on who you are and what it is that you want. Allow yourself to express your feelings, to express your emotions, to express what it is that you want and need, what is important to you. Make sure that your ideals and your potential partner or the partner that you are with, make sure that those ideals are compatible. Make sure that what it is that you both want out of life are compatible, so that you're not wasting time in a situation that you will never receive what it is that you need in your life, and or you will never be able to offer that other person what it is that they require for their happiness and for their sense of fulfillment. Be confident, though. Understand that a positive attitude, an enthusiastic attitude, an attitude of sharing and inspiring of others, and being self-confident and expressing your needs to someone else are going. That behavior behavior and that mode of expression is going to open you up as someone who is sincere, who is authentic, and that is what you are going to attract equally to you, okay? If someone is not willing to express themselves, to give over their totality, in their expression and in their sharing to you, then that's not a situation that necessarily that you want, because there will not be an equal giving and an equal sharing. So meet the future, meet a potential partner, or meet a current partner with enthusiasm, self-expression, try to inspire that person, because your sense of inspiration, will just reap the same rewards from you. The more you give of yourself enthusiastically, the more you will attract. And if a current partner is not the one that's able to give that over to you, do not be afraid to, to perhaps understand that partnership may not be for you, okay? You're looking for something that's transformational. You're looking for something that is a deep connection, and be willing to express your needs when you meet someone or before you get into a partnership, because that is the energy that is going to attract your twin flame. All right, Scorpio, so that's your message for this full moon in Gemini. Again, a period of transformation, potential with a current partnership or a potential partner. And I do hope that this reading was resonating for you. I thank you so much for tuning in, for subscribing. If you are a subscriber, if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping in. I appreciate your time, and you are a blessing to me, and I do hope that I am also one to you. If you are more interested in a private reading, a love reading where I can go more in depth for you about what the potentials are with a current partner or a potential partner, I would be happy to do that reading for you. Please contact me at my website. And I do hope again that you have a wonderful full moon in Gemini, and I will see you next month for the new moon readings in December. Thank you so much, and be blessed.